I never understood how an individual with a serious face could say that they were oppressed and remain in the very same country, receiving every privilege that comes from that country, not taking any effort at all to leave that country. Like, I was born in Zimbabwe, right? Born in Zim at the age of 5. We moved to South Africa, age of 10. We moved to the States, got a green card, and, moved our way on up. Okay? And within my own experience, I know that there's a reason why we came here. We didn't come here to be oppressed. We came here for the very opposite. We came here for opportunity, which I believe is the opposite of oppression. You're oppressed or you're an opportunity. We came here so we could mobilize, we could lift ourselves up so we had the opportunity to at least do something that we couldn't back home, that there probably were lesser of those opportunities, if not so, none of them. And yet we came into a nation where people are born into the privilege of what this is. And I remember the first time I saw protests on TV, it was the one percenters, right? I was probably like 11, maybe 12 years old at the time. And I'm watching this protest, and it's on Cal Berkeley's campus, of course, right? Because when are they not protesting? And I asked my folks, I was like, wait, what is this about? And my dad explains to me, oh, they're, protesting, saying, how the rich are blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, aren't these kids? I put it together back then. And I said, these kids are going to college and that's what they're complaining about? You know what I mean? Because I knew it cost like real serious money, especially being in the Bay Area. I lived in the Bay. So Cal Berkeley is a very expensive school. It's a top tier school. As far as money goes, I don't know about the education. The education has pretty much gone to shite. But as far as the monetary aspect, it is a pricey ass school. And these kids are talking about how they're like oppressed and how the 1% is, oppressing. And I'm like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Now, in hindsight, I have so much more context, right, to say that these, were the originators of kind of this woke ideology of oppressed versus oppressor. Now, this isn't a new concept, or more specifically, a new concept when it comes to this being used as a means of control, because that's what it really is. Let's get down to it. Let's be real. This woke ideology is a means of control. It's the same as a covert narcissist. They use sympathy, they use pity as a means to get attention from those around them. Instead of getting positive affirmation or positive attention through doing something productive, the easiest way to get that attention is to signal to the world that I am a victim, right? And when people buy into that, then they're going to give you the very same sort of attention that you are thirsty for, that you are craving. But that's a story for another time. But again, back to this point of, we live in a country where there are millions of people looking to break in every single day. Every day, there are millions of people who have the desire to come in. And unfortunately, during Joe Biden's administration, there were thousands going through daily. Thousands flooding through that border. Now, I would have to think to myself, why would millions of people, if not billions, honestly, why would billions of people want to come to a country that is so damn oppressive and is so racist and is so bigoted and is so sexist and is so homophobic and so misogynistic and so patriarchal? Why would everybody be flooding to come to a place like this? Why is it when the women of the Middle East, when they look at America, they think to themselves, we want rights like the women in America? Why would a country that other people are trying to model themselves after when it comes to human rights be the very same place where people complain the most? And I promise you, they're complaining the most here. Because even when you go home, people always talk about, oh, you go to Africa, people have nothing, but they're so happy. There's a truth to that. I'm not saying everybody's in that same type of happiness, but there's a level of contentment that you seldom see in a place like this, where so many people complaining about so many damn things. And I'm going to get a comment into here, as I usually do, about, well, you don't understand. This is my favorite one. Well, you don't understand because you weren't born in this country. I'm like, you're literally proving the point. You won't understand because you don't understand the context of the black man in America. Okay, I understand the context of you. And you were not a slave, my friend. And there were those who came out of slavery, the likes of Madam C.J. Walker, who became the first black billionaire before 1919, right? And there were a multitude of others who mobilized themselves Even in the midst of slavery, Frederick Douglass became one of the greatest orators and speakers and highest paid speakers after buying his own freedom 3 times over. 3 times over. But yet you want to stand on the plight of slavery and how you were oppressed. You weren't even born during that time. I don't think you know a single person alive who was around during chattel slavery. You barely know somebody who was there, Jim Crow. And Jim Crow was nothing but an advent of the Democratic Party. So go talk to your fellow Democrats about that. The white Democrat, go talk to your counterparts, your allies. Go talk to them about, the legislation in 1870, the legislation of Jim Crow, right after they fought to keep slavery, right? And that Nebraska Act. Go talk to them about it. Don't come to us talking about all that. Go talk to the ones who did it. But I bet you were not born into that system. You benefited off of an already built system and yet have the audacity to complain about that system. The level of ungratitude or ungratefulness is unparalleled. I promise y'all. It is unparalleled. And I'm not saying that I've always been the most grateful. I'm really speaking from a dude who could have taken more advantage of the opportunities that I had at a younger age. But now as I'm a grown man, I'm like, man, you are blessed. You have everything you could ever ask for, everything you could ever want, everything you could ever need. And so for anybody out there who has real ears to hear, for real, like, you're willing to humble yourself, take advantage of the opportunities that you have here. Take advantage of what you are getting by birth that others are fighting, scratching, clawing to get, through whatever ways and means possible.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's night. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking.